Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Um, no, not working.
I have your attention, please. We're about to start, and I'll need it silent because the only mic that's going to go is the mic that's close to Harry. He's the one that's going to be speaking.
I'm just introducing Bill Lane, who's going to introduce her anyway. So, Bill Lane, take it away.
So here, the audience here first. They're not going to hear him. Oh, they're not going to hear him? All right, that's the mic right there.
How close to it should I be? Oh, wow. But I kind of have to yell for these people to hear. So, yeah. You know what? I'll just leave it here. If they can hear, great. All right. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Yale, for asking me to introduce Harry Ruddick. Harry and I have painted together several times, and we both were extremely fortunate to be in the Andy Evenson workshop in Chatham 2 years ago, I think. Yeah, wow, time flies. Anyway, Harry, as you're going to see, is an amazing painter. He has been painting and drawing all his life. When he was a kid, he drew lots of Apollo moonscapes and battleships, and loved Conan the Barbarian and so forth and so on. So, you know, what the heck. In high school, he was telling me that his high school teacher was the bomb because she gave them freedom, and she told them, taught them about values. And as we all know, right? As we all know, it's all about value. So here. In college, he started in art, but then criminal justice was talking to him, so he switched his major, and with that became part of the Deerfield, Massachusetts police force, and he retired in 2020 as a sergeant. And since 2020, he's back to painting full time. And scenes that he loves, he told me, are New England scenes, farms, fields, farm-related equipment, seascapes, and on. He actually paints everything, so you know what? Yeah, whatever. But I have one quick story. When we were at Andy's workshop. So you know, you've been in workshops. We're all here, and here's Andy. If you haven't taken a workshop with Andy Evenson, take it. He's one of us. Let me tell you, he is great. So anyway, he's up there, and he started this thing. We're all listening and so forth, and Andy's talking, and in trots Harry about 15 minutes late into it. So Andy comes in, and Andy looks up, and without missing a heartbeat says, "And that's the secret of watercolor." Oh, great moment. Anyway, I am honored to present Harry Ruddick III for a demo.
Thank you, Bill. Thanks for the introduction. And I want to thank Yale and the board for having me out. First time in-person meeting since COVID. The coin Grateful Dead lyrics. What a long, strange trip that's been, huh? So here we are. So yeah, as far as like Bill had mentioned values, I did a value study of the piece I'm going to be doing earlier this week. This is the scene. It's like lights and darks. Barn yard with some cows and stuff, which is actually a place in Western Massachusetts where I live.
There you go. Now everybody can see it.
All right. And so without further ado, we're going to get going with this. So if you may not know, we all have done plein air painting. I've done quite a bit of that, and you know, you have people that come and watch you paint for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and they leave. And more people come in and watch you painting, and so that's very familiar to me and comfortable. So as much as I like having a captive audience, I don't want to hold you captive. So if you need to go and get around or leave or whatever, feel free. It will make you feel comfortable. All right. So we are going to start. Big puddle of paint to start. I see a lot of amazing artists out here. I don't know, you almost been scraping the bottom of the barrel when she had me come out because I don't know why one of you aren't up here before me. All right, that should be enough. Paper a little bit. All right. I am going to start at the bottom of the painting, so let people start from the top. Two. Just going to paint right through this. Some paint down here. Reflection from the snow here. A little bit of ultramarine.
Somebody wants to know about your paper, brush, or pigment.
So paper I'm using is did I use this? This is Saunders. This is Saunders. I use Arches quite a bit. My brushes are a variety. The one I'm using now is a Raphael number 4. But basically, you know, I've got a ton of different brushes. Some I pick up on sales. They're all generally natural fiber brushes. They seem to hold the water a little better. As I get down to more detail, you know, this synthetic brush is good. I keep a point on those. Yeah, it's cold press, 140 weight. It's going to be a fairly limited palette. Using a little Van Dyke brown, burnt sienna, ultramarine, cobalt, yellow ochre, umber. All run into each other.
Larry, how's the drawing? It seems real damp.
It's
Taking its time.
it's taking its time. First wash. Speed things up. Hopefully this doesn't turn down your audio in Zoom land, but
I know you do most of your work plein air, that's correct?
I would say probably not most of it. I would say probably 20–30% of my work is done plein air. The rest is in the studio, or I'll get a painting 75–90% done plein air, and then I'll bring it back to the studio and
But
finish.
obviously you won't be able to use your hair color.
No. Usually I do an event in Don't Quit Maine every September. They have a big paint out. Usually around 100 artists, different mediums, and last year it was so hot. It literally, the paint was drying almost as fast as I was putting it down. It was pretty difficult to get that paint to do what it's supposed to do. All right, so now I'm going to start on the sky. My palette. A little bit of ultramarine, a little bit of lavender. Right. And then a little bit of Payne's gray to tone that down a little bit. Huh?
This is my husband, I can tell him.
I'd like to introduce my lovely wife, Kim, who's like the best critiquer. Yeah, she's brutally honest sometimes. So basically, I just mixed a puddle of a little bit of ultramarine, Payne's gray, and a little bit of lavender. Wet this sky a little bit.
you mainly using Daniel Smith or what pigments do you
I use mainly Winsor Newton professional grade paints. This lavender is actually, I believe it's a Daniel Smith color, but it's mostly Winsor Newton. All right. So we got the sky down. I want to paint wet on that a little bit. Let that get to the right consistency. Darker with some anti-brown. More ultramarine. I'm going to paint a little bit upside down, which I do every now and then. Blend in a little bit. Let watercolor do its thing. Switch to a smaller brush here. I know I'm going to knock this thing right over. No, that's fine. We can see it real clearly on the screen. Good, good. This snow, feel the snow down. as you know, watercolor dries lighter than when you put it down. So if it looks too dark, you know you got it right. It's going to dry much lighter than you actually put it down.
You use a limited palette?
I through the years, my palette has become much more limited and subdued because basically, I mean, nature, unless you are like in the tropics, you know, New England it's a lot of muted colors, as we all know, and it's more realistic, I think, when you don't over colorize paintings. Sometimes almost, you know, some of the best paintings, some of them like are tonally like very kind of bland, but they put a splash of color someplace and it really pops out. All right. Into the top of the painting. Nice distant ridge. I think I'm going to start with do a little bit of shadow here. Get that done.
What brush do you use the most? What number?
I tend to use anywhere from like a 4 to a 10. I mean, this is a 4, Raphael 4. This is a 4, yeah. But it's a quill. But generally on the rounds, it's around 6, 8.
Really?
I mean,
So fairly small.
fairly small. As I get more detailed I'll go to my smaller brushes, of course,
So I'm assuming you're a proponent of large brushes first.
yes, I am. Paint right through him for consistency. I'm gonna negatively paint a little bit around. He's going to be in sunshine.
Somebody wants to know how much of an angle are you painting?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah,
30%.
I don't paint flat. I like to have a little bit of gravity working in my favor.
Actually, you're standing here. Do you usually stand when you paint?
I do. I do.
First one you did sitting was at the beach. Beach chair.
Yeah, I did.
Then he's got to get up to get away from this painting. Realize it. Right?
I do.
Unfortunately, you can't just walk backwards here.
That's what he was worried about.
I'll protect it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm not too sure. The screen is giving you a little bit weaker value than you're actually painting. It's a little lighter.
Water while this is still wet. Some pretty cool effects. So that's basically the first wash. Paint down. Let that dry a little bit, and then we'll go second wash and get a little more darks. Barn that pops. Going to put some of that same colored for the shadow on that roof line in the background. This is getting a little bit of shade from the sunlight too. So the thing with watercolors, as we all know, it's you got to maintain that vision of what you want in the end. So as you go, it gets a little chaotic, but if you still keep that vision in mind, and you can get back to what you really wanted. A lot of times, and it was frustrating for me when I first started doing this. You get into this, like, oh my God, this is. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do with this now. And if you can keep that, what you really want in your head, eventually come out. That said, there's only a few times that I've had actual paintings that came exactly the way I envisioned them. This is a tricky medium, as we all know. All right. I think we'll start.
Experience.
That's right. That's right. Happy mistakes.
you're actually gonna be rewriting that?
Yes, a little bit, yeah, just to get a little bit of a darker value down.
Are you mixing those grays, Harry? Are you mixing them or just taking a color?
The gray, I'm mixing them on the palette a little bit. Of some barn boards, we're going to enhance that a little bit more. I'll go to a flat brush here for a second. Shadow in here. A little more to the flat brush. All righty. All right. Ready.
So may I ask, what's the purpose of the water? Is it just for the sake of the audience?
Well, of course, when you put water on it, it expands, and it makes a nice variation of your background. And it's just an interesting shape.
And it looks very fun too.
It's a lot of fun.
Right.
So I'm gonna do, still working with the ultramarine, Dyke Brown. Oh, we're out of time. All right.
This outside.
Probably not. I use value studies probably about 70% of the time. It's usually in a studio, and plein air painting is something that I pretty much do. Yeah, just jump into it. I have done value studies of plein air location, and have brought that with me sometimes, but it's not often. As Bill mentioned, my high school teacher was a huge proponent of value study. It taught me those fundamentals. Plus, it was honed into us, in other classes and even some workshop. He's a big proponent of value studies. A lot of people kind of got away from it, didn't do it. I find that it's a good practice run, and I find I have better paintings that come out of a value study, because I'll sit and I'll look at the value study, and I'll kind of develop my composition and change things, and I come up with some very good things. But it's like 70% of the time I do one. Other times I just go right at it. All right, so let's see what we got here.
Do you ever go back to the same site the next day, or?
Yeah, I have.
You know what, Harry, while you're thinking, maybe you could just hold it up so they can see, because the color is so much different than what the sun is.
Yeah, sure. So this is what we got so far. I don't want to, I got some of that I don't want to run, but I don't know if you can see it. So we're letting that dry a little bit.
Just gets washed
This gets washed out a
Yeah.
little bit. It's a little bit, set a little bit low.
All right, so. Splash is a little too dark. But that's going to work towards our benefit later on, as you'll see. All right. I'm going to dry this up a little bit in this time. How are we doing on time? Well, we got plenty of time. All right.
Assuming that's 140 cold press, right? Or am I wrong? Paper?
Yes, yeah, 140 cold press. I generally don't go too much heavier than that, unless if I am plein air painting and it is quite hot, I'll use a heavier paper, 300 pound, and that holds the moisture a little longer. So, but generally in the studio, something like this, it's 140.
Yeah. I just wondered if you work on rough at all?
I do, not a lot. If I want to go a little more impressionistic, I'll do the rough.
Yeah.
But I find this is a pretty good surface. Do a lot of different effects on it. Okay. That's getting there. Board. Some boards. Dry brush going on here. edge up. Run a little bit into my snow. It's a cow pasture. It's not very clean. All right. Darken up this corner of the eaves. Drag some of that down here. All right. Close here. I'm going to put just a little bit. Just the snow on the roof here. Interesting. Alizarin crimson, just to some of that late afternoon sunlight. Just a touch. Carry that over here. All right. Getting there so far. I'll show you what we got here. That's about the mid tones. And pretty soon I'm going to do the cows. Happy little cows. warm them up a little bit. So, palette clean here. So this guy's in the sunlight. Just a little bit of burnt sienna. Nice, nice warm color.
Pull over the photo a little bit so we can see that. Because right now we can just see the values.
Sure. But yeah. So yeah, this is what I'm working on. See? Can you see that? Okay.
It is really gray.
It's gray, and it's a reference photo.
Yeah.
I rarely paint exactly what I see in a reference photo. I use those mainly for like composition and placement, and interesting shapes. I mean.
So you brought in the sunlight.
I brought in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Because I felt that it was just a little too dark. I liked how the cows were positioned and where they were in the pasture, but it was a little too dark for me. So,
That's
but
really, yeah.
But yeah, it's like my reference photos is like, I mean, if you paint exactly what's in it in a reference photo, it becomes more of a rendering.
Right.
So
You
to
can
speak.
hang up a photo instead of.
Well, and I've had people that I've done paintings for, they're like, I love this scene, but go there and do your artistic thing and make it artistic. And they can take a photo of something, but it's up to us to put that artistic flair into it, and so that's why my reference photos are very just for reference, basically. So this guy.
That's still red sienna that you're using, it's just a little darker?
Yeah, I put a little ultramarine in there just to get this these shadows a little bit. Move to the Van Dyke brown now.
You're doing good, Harry. You haven't bumped into that camera yet.
I know, I've come close. Dry brush going on here. Umber, this guy's kind of in the shadows here. Do want a little bit of his white face, reflection of the sun in the snowfield here. All right. This guy on here. A little mixing on the paper. I know how to use my fingers, a little finger painting going on. little bit of dirt pumping through here. Time to get this little guy in. Getting close. All right, get some shadows in with this guy. Right.
Paint out plein air in the winter very often, or are you just more there for reference photos and go?
I generally don't get out in the winter, plein air. I did one time, and it started like snow flurrying and stuff, and the snowflakes are coming, landing on my paper, and it was pretty cool. And it made it look exactly like on the painting. It was snowing, and but generally I don't go. It's just too uncomfortable. It's miserable.
My guys that are outdoor painters, when you put the heavy coats on in the winter and the wind is blowing and you're still out there, sort of doing your thing. Fair weather. That's
Some of those guys, like my friend Bill Lane, go out in all sorts of weather. He's like, oh, it's out here, it's like 20 degrees, a little cold, but
have shorts on. That looks awesome.
thank you. Getting down to the finished product here. You see me with a bunch of brushes in my hand, you know, I'm towards the finished portion here. Let's see. I think we're going to put a little fence in here. The dry brush fence.
You really have a nice light. Yes, over there, you can feel the winter sun. It's great.
Thank you.
But it's still slow.
Just so, show it to somebody.
Yeah, so good.
So they get this.
What size brush are you using right now?
Right now, oh, this is probably, I don't know, 4 or something like that. It's not marked, but.
It's like it's right.
All right, down there. I'll take my little Zap tonight to get a few window panes in here.
You scratch that.
I scratch that out. I do a lot of, I'll do scratching, I'll lift paint out just to get the desired effect. Much do anything. All right, so I am going to do a couple more things and we'll have a finished painting. All right. Okay, so as in New England, the sun will heat up a roof. We got a some melted snow here. Melts a little bit on the bottom. This is in shadow usually.
There's a barn that's a little bit like this in Waltham. One of our members is named Margaret Kip. She owner, she said, I'd like to paint your barn.
Okay. There's a ladder.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna buy the paint. No, I'm an artist. Just paint your barn.
Good. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Probably Tom.
we're pretty close to finishing here.
It's really fun.
So they were just asking what size brush you're using right now. So I know you're going through a few.
Yeah, I'm not. I think it's about a 4 or so. Round.
We're tracking the people online. They're asking.
One more thing. Purple shadow. The snow. Yeah. All right. I think we got a finished painting here.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. Can I take a picture?
You may.
So all of you that are online, you can that one.
Oh my gosh.
Well, that's nice.
Thank you.
I got.
Aaron, you just hold it up.
I got to show you.
Here we go. Oh, nice. Yeah. That's it.
Carrie, this is commentary. Thank you so much. Beautiful work, Carrie. Thank you. Bravo. It's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you all.
Painting. Carrie, thanks, Carrie. It was amazing. Thank you, Carrie.
All right, great. Thank you out there. Appreciate that very much.
Thank you so much for doing this
Well,
for us.
thank you for asking. I feel it's a complete honor to be able to do a demo here. This is probably really nice, the most talented group I think of watercolor artists right here in the Watercolor Society. You know, we're pretty much representing the contemporary watercolorist in the country right here, right? This group, and it's an honor to do it.
Very, very nice.
Thank you.
Thank you to the
All your comments. Yes, thanks for the Zoom audience for sticking here, watching me do this.
You are inspirational, my friend.
Oh, thank you.
That is great.
We will thank you guys
Thanks everybody for coming. Thank you.
Sure.
So is that your favorite brush for signing? Yeah. I still am trying to find the right one.
It's like a one.
That's great.
All right.